Okay. All right. Okay, so let's get going. We'll start all the way from the top. So I'm just reading the chat now. And yeah, just welcome everyone for those of you who joined the open session. So this will be the open AMA with me here, Jay, and crypto market structure. So the intent really is to just try to provide and help out, our fellow what you call investors over here, and also to show you a little bit about what we do in coin market structure. So there'll be a lot of materials potentially that I'll be using if it touches those things, and I'm happy to share. So right off the bat, XRP moonshot analysis. All right, that's a great question. We do have an XRP deep dive that we have done quite a number of months ago. So XRP, yeah, so that would be one. Do I have an XRP chart here? Yeah, if not, I'll just go into my XRP. I've got an XRP deep dive. XRP, we've got a deep dive of, let me just see, where am I here? Not 500, sorry, this one, 50, 55. The current moonshot 3 projection. Just a reminder, we've got slingshot, moonshot 1, 2, and 3. And the moonshot 3 will be next year, end of next year. $55 is what I have currently. Now it depends on how the price action turns up. 55 is a conservative figure at this point. So most likely I'm looking at a triple digit back, into the hundreds. But we'll see how moonshot 2 happens, and it'll be fairly exciting. So if you want to get into the details, we can, but if you just want to understand, how far it will go, there you go. It is $55 over here. All right, so that's the 3 moonshots. The first moonshot in general will, let me go into the chart. I'll just pick the actual chart here. Yeah. The first moonshot is going to be all-time high, which is around $3.30, $3.80, around there. XRP. Anyone here holds a lot of XRP? Show of hands. You want to put in the chat. Or anyone here hits XRP? Any haters here? Sure, there are a lot of haters, no? No, all good. Yeah, let's see. We've got Crypto Universe. Yeah, go ahead, Crypto Universe. What do you have in mind? You want to share your thoughts? Okay, so here's the all-time high, right? So it's about 380, depending on the exchange you use. Somewhere between 330 to 380 is the all-time high, and the moonshot 1 will complete that. Now, here's the thing that's going to save you a lot of money. Most likely, you should be exiting at the all-time high, right? Don't try to chase on the first break. I know that the group will be exiting at the all-time high with the assumption that it will drop all the way down. So that is the current projection. And the drop will be fairly significant. I would expect at least a 30% drop here, but potentially going up to about 45%. So that's on XRP. We are holding it when you see it's touching all-time high, sell it off, buy back later. Makes sense? Okay, any questions on XRP? Yeah, it's a long list, by the way. The chat just goes on, and let me see. Yeah, if I can try to provide some details around the trade, I'll do it. But the immediate one, within the next couple of months, if it goes up to 380, that will be a good sell. Okay, so when is the question? It should be around Christmas or New Year. That's my expected timeline. Currently, XRP is pushing. Currently, XRP is doing what I call a slingshot. This is specifically a handle. It's got to finish off its slingshot, which will take, maybe another 2 months, 3 months maybe. Yeah. So if you add in the numbers, okay, so if it's gonna take about 2 to 3 months, it's gonna hit somewhere around November, right? And then the final push to Moonshot 1, it's gonna be around December. So roughly around there. Yeah, so just watch out. There's always something interesting at the end of the year for crypto. So just hang in there. Yeah, sell and Moonshot 1. There you go. Edward says that. Fantastic. All right, let's move on with the next question. Casino Coin. What's the handle for Casino Coin? Is that CSC? I cannot remember. I think it's CSC. Is that correct? Casino Coin, anyone? Yeah, there you go. My memory is still good, isn't it? Okay, Casino Coin. Anyone here host Casino Coins? We got gamblers in the room. No. Okay, what does it look like, Casino Coin? Here's the chart. It looks very jittery, and there's always a problem with this kind of a chart. It suggests that the coin lacks liquidity. It's getting better now a little bit. I'm not sure how well it'll do based on the chart because it doesn't quite fit into our model. So if you're holding Casino Coin, I wouldn't recommend. Point number one, it seemed to be having liquidity issues. How do I know? When you see this kind of up and down in the price action, yeah, it's suggesting that. And also the price structure, it looks pretty solid, partly because it broke some of this. I mean, it broke some of this before, so it's got a slightly uptrend. But I'm not going to recommend that you go into this coin. I'm not sure you probably do well, but not as well as others. So I won't go too much into this at this point. Yeah. Any other questions on Casino? I'm not a big fan based on the price action here. Yeah. So let's move on. Okay. Great. There's a lot of questions coming in. Casino coins. What else do we got? RSR. Okay. Someone. RSR in general. We just spoke about to another investors on RSR. Yeah. So is RSR. It's doing very well. Now, the problem with RSI, it's fairly new. It doesn't go back to January 2018. So it's hard for us to forecast. So again, this one will be a tough one. It's not something we recommend in the group. But if you're holding RSR, here's my pick. It's keep it, right? So keep it because it's doing very well. It will continue to do well. Compared to like Casino Coin just now, I wouldn't pick Casino Coin. I would go with RSR any day between the two because RSR will do much well. Now we can't forecast it at this point, but we can come back after 6 months when the Moonshot 1 is completed. Now, if the Moonshot 1 is completed, we can look at the entire bull cycle. Yeah, so my stand on RSR, it's great if you're holding it, keep holding it. If not, don't worry about it. There's better coins out there. Okay, that's my stand on RSR. All right, so next question on Link. Let's see. We got questions on Link. Link will do very well in general. Obviously, you know that Link is on a tear. I've sold off my Link at $8. And the reason why is it's quite simple. It's moving too far, too fast, and let me look at my chain link. Okay, chain link. There you go. Here's my chain link. Here's what we are looking for chain link. We got a link deep dive as well, and that's good if you want to go into it deeply. That's it. So Link is doing Moonshot 2 currently, right? So that's what it is doing. The forecast for Moonshot 2 is somewhere in the 20 and 30. So there's a window here on Moonshot 2. So yeah, if you guys are holding Link, you know, if you really like it, go ahead and hold it until like 25 bucks, and then you might want to exit. The reason why we exit at Moonshot 2 is because Chainlink will consolidate for a long time. You know, we have a consolidation period in after Moonshot 2. So I doubt Chainlink will be going anywhere past Moonshot 2. But in Moonshot 3, it should hit somewhere between 2 to 300 conservatively. That's the what the forecast is talking about currently. So 2 to 300 in the long run. In the shorter run, you know, we're looking at 20 to 30 bucks around there. Yeah, so that's what the model is suggesting. Now, there's a caveat. The assumption here is Chainlink is doing Moonshot 2. Now, Chainlink's price action is slightly different from our model. So it may be a wrong forecast completely, right, because of the structure that is slightly different. But I would still say, you know, 20 to 30 bucks is easy. You know, just hold on to it. I'm not buying in now because why? From now until 30 bucks, it's hardly 2x. You know, that's my logic. And we can get 2x, 3x, 4x. That's not a problem. A lot of other coins can do that as well. So that's my logic. There's just a lot of good coins out there that can provide a good option. So yeah, if you're having Link, just watch out. It's gonna go up, but there is a what we call a pattern 2.2. Pattern 2.2 has a substantial correction, right? I was estimating somewhere at $11, maybe. You know, pattern 2.1, 2.2 is always hard to project where it is. But right now, I don't think Chainlink has done its 2.2. So when I look at Chainlink now, where's my Chainlink? Do I have a link here? I don't have a link. Okay, let's use link. So can link. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Yeah, so when I look at the price action now, I'm seeing, okay, if that is 2.1, if you don't know the terminology, that's fine. It's just saying that the way Chainlink is going to develop from a market structure point of view is it does 2.1 and then the 2.2, right? And then it finish off its Moonshot 2. That's how it develop itself. 2.2 will have a much bigger correction, but it doesn't last that long. So don't get freaked out if Chainlink actually tumbles down. You know, it goes up to, let's say, 23 bucks, and it does a sharp correction down back into below $20. Don't get freaked out. If it does that, if it corrects by say 20%, if you see that, you can buy in, right? Because the next thing it's going to do is it's going to shoot back up to complete its Moonshot 2. So that's on Chainlink. Yeah, so for those of you who are holding it, that's cool. Any questions on Link? Let's see. Oh, good. All right, so I'm just reading the chat. So that's on Link. What's next? VeChain, XRP VeChain along with others. Yeah, so let's see if I, okay. Let's look at VeChain and then ZRX. So we've got questions around VeChain and ZRX. Let's see if I got a VeChain somewhere here. Nope. Let me just pick up VeChain. VeChain is a coin that is doing really well. Yes, and but I want to show you guys this now. VeChain, it's part of our high velocity, um, coin. It's doing pattern 1.1, so it's going up to 1.2. Um, then yeah, so you can see VeChain has a dislocation from the chart, and this dislocation doesn't help out because it moved from VEN to VET, right? So those of you who knows the history for VeChain would know um, why there's a dislocation here. So because of the dislocation, we can't really forecast too well, but we still make an effort to look at VeChain. So let's look at VeChain, KNC, you see, where's VeChain? There you go, here's VeChain. All right, so here's VeChain's projection here. So we know it's currently 1.1, and it should be finishing. It should be going up to maybe around 3 cents-ish. That will be the next move. And then it'll push up into pattern 1.2. So it should do very well. Those of you who hold VeChain, keep holding it. Yeah, it's got a moonshot one, moonshot one target of around about 12 cents, 13 cents. So yeah, keep holding VeChain. I haven't done its moonshot 3 projection. That is because it's still far away. You know, I'm not too focused at this point around some of the coins in moonshot 3. But moonshot 1 for sure, just keep holding. You know, 10 cents, 13 cents will be a good target for moonshot 1, right? Don't get out at the end of 13 cents. I mean, you should get out, but that's not the end of the run. Link has a much higher upside, which I haven't done the analysis. Okay. ZRX, can VeChain hit $1? Well, let's just do a quick rough estimate. I don't have, yeah, so if it's gonna go up to about 10 cents. Oh yeah, it's gonna hit $1. It's gonna hit $1. Easy. $1 is easy. So I can't at this point. I can't now because again this location in the chart. I can't say how far it will go, but I can say $1 is easy. All right, $1 is easy. Not this year. Next year. So hang in there, guys. All right, let's have a look. What else? Okay, ZRX. I think that's the next one. Yeah, ZRX. I'll keep VeChain. I'll open up another chart here. Okay, ZRX. Let's look at ZRX. Any holders on ZRX here? That's a great project as well, ZRX. There's just too many coins, isn't it? Okay, ZRX completed its slingshot, zigzag down, and what we call here is a countdown. So there's a small countdown. Yeah, so that's what it's called. It's called a countdown. And when it finishes countdown, it's basically just gonna move up into starting its moonshot 1. So yeah, the moonshot 1 pattern 1.1 is the next. It should be somewhere around here, right? That's yeah. Normally it's that around that level. So I'm seeing 0x to come up to there to do its what we call pattern 1.1. Yeah, so it should come back up nicely. Almost doubling up to about 72, 75 cents. So ZRX will do quite well. Yeah, do I have a projection on ZRX? I can't remember. I have to check. Done so many of this, so sometimes I would forget. Oh yeah, there you go. I've got a projection here. There you go. Pattern 1.1 is somewhere around 60, 65, 70 cents around there. minor correction. Pattern 1.2 will be around here, right? What is that? Around $1.40. There'll be some major correction. And then again, you push up to completion of moonshot 1 here. So if I were to do this, so this would be moonshot 1 completion. Yeah, makes sense, guys. That's how the market structure will play out. Moonshot 1 should hit all-time high, so it should hit about $2.70 before it does its major correction back down. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing with ZRX. Okay, so that's ZRX. No one's hanging. Yeah, no one's trading ZRX. Only a few of you. Hey, let's see. We got a lot of comments, so that's great. Let's see, what else do we have? Jay, I will be financially ready in October. Will my strategy change and how much? So October is how many months away? 2 months away, roughly, around there. So things will change, obviously. The coins will start to move up. And at that time, we will look at the position of the coins from a market structure point of view. So just to give you guys an idea, we do map out the coin's position like this. Yeah, this is not the new one. I'll show you guys a new one. Yeah, this would be the new one. So we map out the coins based on the patterns. So this would be one, right? So for example, we know VeChain is these coins at this level towards pattern 1.2. These coins will do really well, right? So VeChain, Tezos, KNC, XTC, Zinfin, ZRX, Neo, all of these coins, they'll do really well. So in 2 months' time, these coins should start to move up, right? This whole thing will start to move up, and we'll see other coins coming up because they burst up. So positions will change in the future. So when you come back in October, yeah, we have to do another AMA and see where you are, okay, and see where the coins are. Yeah, so that's how it is. A quick review on the 3000X strategy. Okay, so the 3000X, we don't have a 3000X now, we have a 1000X. Yeah, because the 3000X was based on a different forecast in the past. So we dropped down to 1000X. In general, let me go into where's my strategy? Okay, so there you go. Gotta go to strategy. So the 1000X game plan is broken down into 2 streams. So I have one stream is called the stability stream. Now this stability is basically coins that you're gonna hold most of the time, all the way until moonshot 3. All right, so you have another stream which we call high velocity growth or high velocity coin or growth stream, and they will be chasing after moonshots, right? So if you think about it, the way you redesign the portfolio is there's one portion where you have coins that you're riding pretty much all the way up. And then you have a bunch of coins that you're chasing moonshots. Does it make sense? So here's an example, right? So here's a spreadsheet we did just to provide a view on how you design your portfolio. Say you have $76,000. You might want to put some in the benchmark coin. We call benchmark coin as stability. And based on the price, you can see how much end game return you're going to get. Right now, there's also on the right side, you have the high velocity coins where we are shifting. You can see, like in this case, Digibyte, when it goes up, we might shift down into XRP. And in this case, KNC might shift to LEN, or ZIL might shift to LEN. So that's the high velocity part. Does it make sense? I'm just going to check with the chat. So that's how we design the portfolio, and some people prefer more stability than others, while some people prefer to chase after moonshot. So it's entirely up to how you want to design the game plan, but it is we help you do it in the group so that we work with your preferences. Okay, so that's the game plan in general. 1000x game plan. If you do the math, yeah, you can get to 1000x. It's not crazy or impractical. Most of our members understand that. So opinion on holochain, what's a long shot? Yeah, we've seen holochain before. Can't remember at this point on top of my head. But let's have a look anyway. I think this is the one, isn't it? Holo. Am I looking at the right chart? I hope I am. Holochain will do relatively well, but again, the history doesn't, it doesn't go back into January 2018. But it looks like it's got some action here, which is good. But I like to see more action. All right. Sorry, just gonna drink some water. Yeah, not the most exciting coin, isn't it? So yeah, it'll probably go up, but yeah, there are probably better coins. I won't go too much into it, partly because it's not as exciting in my opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah, some of you came through Crypto Mentor. Dave, appreciate that. Yeah, Crypto Mentor is a member and he's great. He enjoys all the content here, which is great. And yeah, those of you who comes through Crypto Mentor, yeah, thanks for dropping by. So VeChain, we spoke about that. That's great. Any future deep dives on DeFi project? Okay, that's a great question. They're on fire. So in general, the DeFi, one of the things I did recently was I started to categorize some of the DeFi projects here. Before I had coins just like this, not like this, but yeah, just where's that? Not this one. I'll just close up this one. Okay, no, not this one. Yeah, there you go. Before, my table looks like this. I didn't categorize them at all. And eventually, we move into this where I started to categorize the coins. Either they are in smart contracts, excuse me, or they are in DeFi. So it'll be interesting to look at the DeFi coins, which we did for, we did for smart contracts, Ethereum. And it'll be interesting to look at DeFi coins because they are on fire and they will be on fire. So for example, these 4 coins, yeah, they're gonna do really well. So we might want to do more deep dives in the future, MS, in terms of for the DeFi space. I personally are quite, I'm quite interested and excited about that space as well. Yeah, so hang in there. Yeah, we might look at it. So I'm quite bullish on that space. Yeah, lots of XRP guys. So hopefully, yeah, we can circle back to XRP if there's any specific questions. All good. Thoughts on Cardano? So Cardano, it's the number 2 horse, I think, in smart contracts world. So Cardano will do quite well. In fact, it's doing quite well here. Let's see. Do I have Cardano's chart somewhere here? No, I've got to open one. All right, let's do Cardano ADA. Okay, so here is here's Cardano. Cardano is pushing up. It is actually slightly faster than Ethereum. So I'll do this with you. I don't have Ethereum, but let's pick up Ethereum as well. Yeah, so let's pick this up, ETH, right? So let's compare Ethereum against Cardano in terms of its market structure. And you guys might be able to find a pattern, what it is doing. So on the right side, we've got Cardano. On the left side, we have Ethereum. So if I start drawing some lines here, you guys might be able to see it. Let me just delete this line, right? So can you guys see something similar from this line onwards and this line? So you can see it breaks up and did its pattern right there, and then it starts to step up into this pattern. So Cardano, you can see, in fact, Ethereum is doing the second pattern now, isn't it? It's doing this one. So I don't expect Ethereum to push all the way up. Most likely it's just going to go up a little bit, and it's going to correct down to form this pattern over here. So this is the one that you can compare against the two. So Ethereum will probably range around a little bit. And will it come back down into 300? It's unlikely, in my opinion. It's just going to go up, but before it goes up, it's just going to range, just like what Cardano did now. So Cardano, we are looking at continue to push up all the way. So all these smart contract coins will do really well. I don't have a forecast at this point on Cardano just because I have time. You guys should still hold until end of the year. And maybe a sell off a little bit and buy back at this point, because this is where pattern 2, what you call 1.2 is. Yeah, so if those of you who wants to learn more about how this pattern works out, obviously we have the entire what you call education in the website. So, but anyway, if it really comes back up over here, which I think it will, so this would be a good point to sell off, and you'll probably come back down. So that's what I'm seeing for Cardano. But if you don't say you don't want to play this pattern here, that's fine. Just hold all the way up, and then we will revisit all of this by the year end or before year end. So it will do really well. Cardano, it's the second horse in the smart contract. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back up and look at the chats and see. Yeah, I'm sorry if we can't finish everything today, but we'll try to. Yeah, we try to cover as many questions as possible. So ADA, the 3 exit price, we don't have the 3 exit price, Dave, but I'll just say come back, in a few months' time, where it is because our focus currently is to execute on the first 6 months, which is the first moonshot. So I'm not too worried about the second and third for ADA. But we do have Ethereum deep dive anyway. Good strategies. Any good exit strategy? Well, the exit strategy that we use, Lancaster, is quite simple. Is at the end of each moonshot, you would get out. Okay, now this is quite important to understand. So Lancaster asked a great question, and everyone should know this, right? So let me pick Bitcoin dominance. I'll use that as to tell the story. Okay. So what is happening now is comparable to back in 2017, right? So back in 2017, we know what happened. The Bitcoin dominance dropped like a rock, came back up, right? And then do the final dropping. Now, if the narrative behind this is This first drop here is moonshot 1 and 2. Okay, so this is moonshot 1 and 2. Now, how do I know? If we have done the analysis, let me pick DigiBuy as an example, just to overlay and show you guys the narrative here. By the way, technical analysis like this, I don't use traditional technical analysis. If you are wondering, there's no RSI, Bollinger Band, moving average, Fibonacci, Gann, whatever you can think of. I've used all of those before. I can tell you it doesn't work. So if you see people who use it, that's great, but I don't use it. I don't use it to forecast. So I only use boxes and lines, not even trend lines. I don't care about trend lines that much. Just the pattern will do. Now, if you look at the orange a chart here, that's DigiByte, right? It's overlaid against Bitcoin dominance. What happened is DigiByte, just like any other coin, I can overlay XRP, I can overlay Ethereum, I can overlay any of these coins before. Litecoin, you see that it does a moonshot 1 and moonshot 2, right? Orange, I'm looking at the orange chart here, guys. Okay, and after moonshot 2, all the coins will do its ranging. Yeah, this is where it ranges. It corrects itself significantly. All the coins. Yeah, let me overlay XRP as an example, just to prove the point. Okay, so here's XRP's chart, which is blue color. Okay, you can see blue color. What happened? XRP moonshot 1, come back down, moonshot 2. What happened? It ranges. Okay, do you know how long it ranges? I'll just show you how long it ranges. It ranges somewhere around 208 days, around there. How long is 192 days, right? 192 days. How long is 192 days? Anyone? How long is 192 days? Yes. 6 months, yeah? So there will be a long ranging days. Okay, so sorry. Yeah, did anyone wants to say something here? Dave, is that right? Do you want to say something? Sorry.
Hey Jay, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, thank you. This is Dave from New Orleans. I was just gonna ask, in Moonshot 1 on the XRP, you think it's a good idea to sell our whole bag or just sell half the bag and then buy in later?
Most likely I'm selling the whole bag. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
If I'm not sure, I won't sell the whole bag. But at this point, I'm pretty confident the price action will say sell the whole bag, buy back at say 30, 40, potentially 50% discount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And one more question. Are you still open for your trading group?
Yes, it is still open. I'll send out a link to you later, Dave. That's all good.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
very much.
no worries. So I just wanted to show you guys that the story, the narrative. By the way, when I going back into technical analysis that I'm just using market structure and patterns, right? So I don't use trend lines, whatever, all of those mumbo jumbo, RSI. Don't use all that. And people say, well, I don't. Do I read news a little bit? Now, because the news will get baked into the price, so that's why when I look at a price, it is indirectly reflecting the news. So that's the beauty about looking at price and patterns. So that's point number one. I don't necessarily need to go around, researching YouTube, Twitter, or GitHub, look at projects. There are better ways to spend your time. So if you look at all the patterns here, so I'm coming back into this chart, right? So all the coins you do moonshot 1, moonshot 2, and then it'll take like 3, 4, 5, 6 months to range. So these coins, all coins aren't doing anything. So you got to know that, okay? You got to know all coins next year, there will be a range, a long, many months of ranging. And what happened is Bitcoin will start catching up. And this is where Bitcoin dominance will come back up. Do you guys follow the narrative here? Now, there's a story behind the chart. And you got to understand the story, the narrative. Once you understand the story, the narrative, you know what to do. It gives you the strategy on how you should be executing. Okay, that's important. So, what happens is when these altcoins finish moonshot 1 and 2, which most likely is sometime maybe April next year, right? We'll see how it turns out. And that's where you go back to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin will rally from the completion of Moonshot 2's altcoin Moonshot 2. So that's how we're going to play the game in terms of the strategy. Yeah, this is going back into what was the question again? Yeah, I had to cover this. Sorry, I'm going back into the chat, just reminding myself the questions that Lancaster was asking. Man, you guys type a lot. What's your, okay, where's Lancaster? Oh, there you go, Lancaster. Exit strategy. Okay, so once you understand this, what is the exit strategy? It becomes very simple. Okay, if you're holding all coins, exit at Moonshot 1. Okay, buy back at cheaper price, 20, 30, 40% cheaper. When it hits Moonshot 2, exit completely. All right, and where do you go? You go to Bitcoin. You go to Bitcoin, you write Bitcoin up. And when the time comes, you go back and finish off Moonshot 3, altcoin Moonshot 3, right? And there's a concept in the group where I say XRP as the compass, but not only as a compass, but XRP as the clock. By the time Ethereum, Bitcoin, and XRP completes its Moonshot 3, it's game over. Yeah, that's when the game is over. Whatever you hold, I don't care whether it completes its Moonshot or doesn't, it's time out. You clear the deck. It's time to exit. Okay, because this is happening. This whole thing is coming down. All right, so including Bitcoin against fiat, right? So I'm talking about anything against fiat. It's coming back down. So hopefully you guys would understand that, and it gives you an idea on the exit strategy. This is the big picture. You got to understand the big picture. Okay. All right, Dave, we'll get you into the group once this is done. Do you sell the entire bag? Yeah, I think we just answered that. That's great. Okay, H-bar, all right. I'm a big fan of H-bar technologically. But remember, Graydon, I am an investor. So let's look at H-bar. Yeah. All right, H-bar. Anyone here holds H-bar? It's a wild ride, isn't it? I did hold H-bar much earlier before. And let's have a look at H-bar. Okay, here is Hedera. Eventually, I can't recommend H-bar for anyone as a serious investor. Really go back up significantly, I believe so. 40 cents should not be an issue at all, I think. So yeah, 8x shouldn't be an issue. You know, if I look at this and draw the line here, any line I draw here, this becomes a slingshot. So those of our group who knows, this would be the first major milestone that it needs to do. So the pattern for slingshot is always this. It breaks a bunch of major resistance behind, but it will zigzag down to shake out investors. All right, and then you push up and then it will do what we call a countdown. Okay, that's a classic pattern. Okay, that's the first structure in the market, crypto market structure. So, is it due to go up? The answer is yeah. Right. So, if you want to have some money in there, yeah, that's great. Hedera looks great. By the way, we call the lowest point here, we call it the moonpad one. Right? The moonpad one sets off the moonshot one. So this entire projection here is the moonshot one. So moonshot one will probably finish somewhere around, I think, 40 cents and above. You hit above 40 cents. That's not an issue. So Hedera looks great. But it doesn't quite fit into our model. Partly because it doesn't go all the way to January 2018. But if you're having some stake in there, a couple of small amount of money based on your capital, hey, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, so that would be on Hedera. I am very familiar with its technology, and it's one of my first early coins that I picked up, and yeah, really enjoy the technology. But let's move on and let's see the next question. Thoughts on ZIL? Did we cover ZIL? I think we did, isn't it? Okay. If I missed the question, I apologize first. There's just a lot in the chat. Tezos, okay. How much Tezos moonshot? I think I have covered Tezos in one of our deep dives. So let's go into deep dives. It's in one of our Tika showdown because it is one of Tika's pick as well, isn't it? Tezos. Anyone here follow Tika's pick? Yeah, it's Tezos. Okay. Yeah, we've got quite a few of Tika's pick. So we did a showdown between Tika's coin against market structure. We want to know how good are his picks. Is it too speculative? Or is it good? And obviously, Tezos is one of the coins. Tezos is a great coin. So for those of you who don't understand Tezos, yeah, it belongs into the smart contract world. And in my opinion, technology-wise, yeah, I think it's probably better than Ethereum. Ethereum's got the money, but Tezos, in terms of development from a technology point of view, it is ahead, I think. I think there's just a lot of other coins that are ahead of Ethereum anyway. But Ethereum is is the first guy, first kid on the block. So Tezos is going to do well. Obviously, we have this projection like a month ago. Yeah, it will continue to go up. Let's see, where is Tezos currently? Oh, it broke out from this. That's great. It continue to held on this resistance. So there's quite a few major resistance behind, which you'll do. So you'll probably have to hang around here for another week or two before making a move up. So that's how I see. Is it coming down? I doubt it is coming down too much. If you ask the question, is it going to come back down to $3.30, for example? I don't think so. It's unlikely. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it might come back down to 390, but it will have limited downside on Tezos. You continue to push up. Tezos is a very strong coin, and I enjoy it a lot. Some of you would be staking this as well. So what's my projection? Let's have a look at Tezos. Well, I have 22 bucks here. Most likely it's higher looking at how it corrects itself, but we will see. Yeah, 22 would be a conservative exit. Again, we'll update as we go along. So Yeah, it looks great. Those of you who doesn't want to get into Tezos first, but once it hits around $8 and comes back down, okay, yeah, it's gonna move up very quickly. So just hang in there. It will have to find its way up. Right now, it's facing a lot of resistance here. You can see on the back here. But once it's break out 3, that level, all right, it's just gonna take off. So hang in there on Tezos. Tezos is a great coin. Yeah. SRK, ooh, that would be interesting. I've not heard about SRK before. What is SRK? Spark point. Okay, so these kind of coins, point number 1, not enough data. It's only in existence in May 19. So can't really project this too well. Point number 2, it broke all-time high. Keeps going up. So that's a good sign, right? So any of these new coins, if it's not breaking all-time high, don't get in. I say don't get in, right? So if you are holding Spark coin, Spark point, right? So keep holding it. Like I say, we can come back after 5 months and see. We can project where it's gonna go. But well done if you're holding it. It looks good. But we won't recommend for the group. It's a little bit too speculative. Yeah, so that's on Spark Point. SRK. MFT. Okay, I think we have seen MFT. No, can't remember. Can't remember. Okay. MFT. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Fairly new. It only goes back to July 18. So it looks all right. Not too exciting. Looks okay. There are better, more exciting coins. But it looks like it will, it will continue to push up. Definitely into all-time high. Yeah, just don't know when. Maybe hopefully in the next couple of months, end of the year. It looks decent. Not too exciting. Decent. So if you're holding it, yeah, keep on holding it. If not, yeah, I wouldn't. I'm sure there's better coins out there. Yeah. Hey, Tanka, how are you doing? Let's see, SHR, did we? Yeah, yeah, SHR keep, this kind of coins are too speculative. Too speculative. Yeah, wouldn't recommend this. But again, you would have done well if you have some stake in there. Okay. All right, let's continue on. I'm just moving. Yeah, MS to everyone. DOS network. Yeah, this would be a crazy coin, is that right? DOS. Yeah, so DOS obviously did very well, just shot up. Now there's just 2 new again. So a lot of the coins that we recommend, they are really, they don't belong. If you look at the entire spectrum, on one end you have fairly speculative new coins, right? Again, if a lot of coins sounds good on paper, but I need to see it on the chart. What is the chart saying? On the other hand, so on one hand you have fairly new speculative coin that looks great. On the other hand, you have heavy coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum that has been around. So we don't like to operate within those 2 ends. I don't like too speculative, but I don't like Bitcoin as well, right? Or Ethereum at this point. Those are just too heavy. So we would like to operate somewhere in between, where the coins are battle tested. It means they've survived the last cycle, or it has enough historical data to say it's doing very well. So that's what we like. just to give you an idea around how we go about selecting the coins. Any chance ETH is gonna correct to 260? Let's see. Do I still have my ETH? Yeah, here's my Ethereum. 260 unlikely. Now I did have a the CME futures what you call gap at somewhere around down there. But I don't think the gap would be useful at this point. But the gap doesn't belong to market structure anyway. So yeah, I don't think it's coming back down to 260. And so yeah, don't hold your breath. Okay, let's see. MS, how do you find any match with similar identical patterns like Aave and gold? Thank you. Yeah, if you have seen me doing that, yeah, so I've got, I traded Forex and metals before I came to crypto. So that's how I, that's how I get the market structure in. So this would be XAU, right? Gold. It came back down. And then this is too big. Okay, so let me just contrast, right? So some of you would have seen that, let's see, Aave or LEN, right? If I zoom out Aave or LEN, it looks like gold. You know, if you look at this structure over here, right, which I have mapped out, really, gold looks like Aave or LEN looks like gold, whichever you go. So what do you think it's going to do? Well, if you look at what gold did, right? Gold just broke all-time high, spike up. You know, there's a lot of buyers here. And guess what? It just spikes back down. All right. What do you think gold is doing now? What do you think? What do you think gold is trying to do? Yeah, let's look at the chat. Yeah, so gold is trying to shake out, basically shake out investors, right? If you bought at $2,000 and it's spikes back down to below 1,900, it might spook some of the investors, right? Now, but we know that as well. Every time it breaks a resistance, right? And we teach that in our so in our program, we there's one called resistance method, right? So what we say in the resistance method is every time it breaks a resistance method, a major resistance level, it has to come back down, right? So it broke the all-time high here, right? So let me just show you. Here's the all-time high for gold, right? Gee, what do you think? It has to come back down to retest, right? So it broke there, came back down, right? So now LEN is going to do the same thing, isn't it? Do you think LEN is going to do the same thing? Of course, LEN is going to do the same thing. So LEN most likely is going to what? It's going to explode up, right? And then it's going to retrace back. Now, will it retrace back all the way to all-time high? Not necessarily, because it's already doing some, it may do some retest as it goes up. So we'll see how it plays out in terms of the price action. But what I'm saying is expect LEN to burst up, right? I think we have a projection of LEN somewhere in $1.20. Let me just check. Yeah. So here's LEN. So I've got a projection around $1.20, $1.30, around there. Yeah. So that might be a good place to exit. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is for LEN and gold. Looks fairly familiar or similar in terms of its price structure. Yeah, so LEN's moonshot 1 is around 120, 130, around that. That's a great place to exit. Almost 3x from here, isn't it? So currently is 42 cents. If it goes up to $1.20, that's about almost 3x. So, and not only that, you probably take about 1.5 months to complete the $1.20. That's my view. Normally, the final completion of Moonshot 1, it's fairly fast. So that's a great trade if you guys want to jump on it. Just buy land and hopefully it goes up to 120 within a month or so, and then you're done. Exit, and then you move on. So that's what it is. Let's look at other questions. We'll keep going on. If I miss it, just keep reposting, guys. IOTA, IOTA. There you go. Let's look at IOTA. IOTA has come alive, isn't it, recently? That's great. So let's have a look at IOTA. So it broke some of these major resistance level, which is a great thing to do, to see. Again, I would prefer to see more action. I would prefer that the price is higher. As such, I wouldn't recommend IOTA for my group because they are much better coins to trade. The coins we like to trade are already up there. So one of our philosophy is don't buy cheap. Yeah, you need to buy into strength. Don't look at a coin and say, gee, it's really cheap. Let's buy the coin. Well, guess what? The coin might not move much. So there's no point buying cheap coins. You want to buy strong coins. Yeah. So for example, Link, right? I mean, it's great, right? It's what, $17, $18 maybe? Yeah, it can still go up to $30. Yeah, from a return point of view, it's only 2x, you say, that's fine, you know. But if you say, I just want to make some money, then I say, go buy strong coins and hold. It's as easy as that, right? Come back, you know, go fishing 12 months, come back next 12 months, and then sell off, you make tons of money. It's as simple as that. So don't buy cheap coins, coins that are down here. They will come up, but their strength is not, their velocity is not as good as the others. So IOTA is okay, but you know, not too exciting. NMR numeraire, I think that's what you're referring to. Is that correct, Sam? Yeah. So Sam, numeraire is doing well. NMR. So NMR has showed strength. You can see that's great. I think it's one of our high velocity pick. NMR. Yeah. So NMR is here. Yeah, we did not put it into the game plan. That is because it's too jittery. It will do well. So for those of you who hold, keep holding. It will do well. So let's move on. Yeah.
Thank you.
All good, Sam. Yeah. Let's see. We spoke about VeChain and EWT. Oh yes, EWT. Yes, Energy Web. Let's look at Energy Web again. Again, it will do well. What can I say? It's just one line straight up, isn't it? Can't forecast. So if you hold it, keep going. Otherwise, not recommending it to the group. Okay. KNC is doing well, and it came back down again. But guess what? It's shaking out people. It's going back up again. We know on KNC. KNC is doing pattern 1.1, and you guys would know what is after pattern 1.1. There's 1.2, right, which is up there. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so where is it going next? KNC is one of our favorite coins here just because it's very strong. You can see it is much closer to the top here, and you want to buy into strong coins. So this is a great coin if you want to jump in right now. Next stop would be somewhere around 340, hopefully within a month or less, we'll see. That'll be a 2x, a nice trade. So that's on KNC. Nothing much to say. It's just going to do well. And yes, XLM. All right. XLM. Yeah, let's look at XLM. So those of you who hold XRP, so here's the position that the group has, or at least I have on XRP and XLM. I look at XR because let's bring XRP up. Let's bring XRP and XLM up. XRP. We'll overlay XRP with XLM, okay, just to prove the point. XLM. Yeah, so on the yellow line, that is XLM. XLM and XRP is, it's fairly tightly correlated. Yeah, so if I just, yeah, start from the top here all the way down, it's tightly correlated. Maybe the performance is for XLM is slightly better, and it might go up first, and that's fine. So from my point of view, if I'm holding a lot of XRP, which I do, I don't want to hold another coin which is occupying space. If I want, I can just split my XRP half and say, okay, I have half of XLM and another half in XRP. And whichever that goes up first, I'll then sell off one and then ride the other. So you can do that. But I don't want to do that because it complicates things. I would prefer spending some of my energy on high velocity coins. So XLM is tightly correlated to XRP. So I don't want to hold another XLM. And also XLM is not at this point a high velocity coin. Well, let me put it this way. It is not as fast as the other coins. So for me is XLM is neither here nor there. So I'm not holding it. But is it gonna do well? Yeah, it's gonna correlate with XRP. Well, if XRP is going to $55, where do you think XLM is gonna go? It's gonna go really high, isn't it? Now I don't have the numbers at this point. I think, or I might have. It's in my deep dive, but that's my position. I'm not worried about XLM. If you want to hold it, that's cool. Otherwise, just hold XRP. So that's on XLM. Yeah, it's gonna do well. Okay, I think that's it for the chat questions. Unless anyone else got additional questions. Let's see. Data. Okay, we've got questions from YouTube. We've got data. Any data holder here? Yeah. So let's look at the chart for data. Do I have a data around here? No. Just gonna pick one. Okay. Data will do very well. I think there are people who like data, engine coin. Those will do really well. Data has broken its all-time high. So, one way to look at this is this would be its moonshot one, right? So typically moonshot one is it breaks the all-time high, right? So I can call this a moonshot one. In other words, if the model is correct, it is on its way up to doing moonshot two. So that's why data is really exciting. If you're holding data, that's great. Continue to do so. Well, the next stop will be somewhere around what, $2.50 around there. Let me see. Yeah, around there, 220, 250. That would be moonshot two. If this is correct, so if you want to exit at $2.20, that would be great. But I'll just caution, our model doesn't fit into data. But if I were to force the forecast, 220 would be a great place to exit. Yeah, so that's on data. It should do well. It's very strong. It's pushing up. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, data. Data just did well today, recently. Is that correct? Streamer, data. It just did well. Yeah, there you go. See, I've got this yellow projection that is coming through. Yeah, so data is just coming up alive. It will continue to do well. If you look at the way data moves, it moves in incredible spikes. So, you know, you spike up, then you hang around or come back down. So it will continue to do that. So data will do well. Yeah. Yeah, can you talk about it, especially? Okay, so question around trading group for US citizen. Hey, Cash, if there's something specific about um, you know, not sure which aspects of the US citizens you're talking about. You're talking from a tax point of view, or you're talking from a operations? Oh, from a tax point of view. I don't live in US, so I can't speak about tax. So if you recall, I said early on, tax is one of the topics I can't cover. We cover only market structure, which is all about price forecasting and pattern analysis to help you invest. Unfortunately, I can't help you guys on tax. So, but having said that, we will be forming some what is called a SIG, special interest group, which I spoke about yesterday. Um, and the SIG is just a special interest group, especially for topics in relation to tax. So some of you may want to group together and tackle this issue. So we will do that moving forward. And that's an issue we need to solve. I'm sure everyone has a concern around that. All right, so that's on tax and SIG and all this stuff. Yeah, so let's check in with YouTube. Let's see, there's a lot of other coins here. So we spoke quite a bit about these coins. Yeah, DNT, worth buying, according to David. That's one of David's question. Let's have a look at DNT. I'm not sure. Have we seen DNT before? DNT. DNT just came alive recently, isn't it? Yeah, so it looks decent. Again, it's still down there. It's got plenty of resistance for it to break up there. Again, it's decent coin, not too exciting. I wouldn't recommend for my group. But if you like it, you can hold it. It'll probably go up. So I won't go too much into it, partly because it's not that exciting. Yeah, so I want to compare. You say, okay, Jay, what is exciting for you? All right, so this is what is exciting for me. What's exciting is, let's take data, right? So if you want to ask what's exciting for Jay, all right, so if you compare the two, right, if you look at district 0 and look at the price action between the two, right, which one do you think has gone up significantly more, right? The one on the left or the one on the right? Gee, the one on the left, isn't it? Yeah, why do we think the one on the left has gone up much more? Well, maybe there are more investors, there are more interest, and it pushed the price up. Yeah, most likely that's what it is in this bull cycle. So we like to buy into strength. Now let's look at Kyber. Is Kyber really that strong, for example? Well, look at where its position is relative to its all-time high. You see, Kyber in District 0, right, is around here, right? We like strength. This is going to push up, right? Chainlink is way up there. It's doing pattern 2.2. right, and above, right? So that's really strong coin. Chainlink is like the strongest coin we have currently. The reason why I'm not into Chainlink again is because it's way out there, and the ROI, you know, I doubt it has a significant ROI compared to my other coins still. But again, I could be wrong. But the point is, you got to buy into all these coins that are strong, right? You don't want to invest in coins that are relatively weak. Will it come back up? Yeah, sure it will, but I would prefer stronger coins. So hopefully you guys get that investment thinking, right? The thinking process behind that. All right, let's look at the chat again. Yep, Mana. Okay, Mana is great. I think we saw Mana, Decentraland, doing quite well recently. I like it. I'm a fan of Decentraland as well, the virtual assets. Obviously, it did really well. It's coming back down. If it comes back down a little bit more, for me, if I'm not sure if it's coming back down all the way here, but if it does, if it does come back down all the way here, that's a definite buy. Yeah, that's a without doubt, that's a definite buy. My problem is there's just way too many good coins. So for me to invest into something now, you gotta give me a really good deal, right? Like if you come back all the way down, okay, I'll consider it. You know, I'll consider it. But at this point, you know, I'll just let it go. There's just a lot of good coins. But if you have it, it will do well. I'm not sure if it's gonna come back zigzag down. Potentially, it can do that. Let me just zoom in a little bit and look at some of these potential price here. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. So I will just call it potentially. It's just gonna come back down. It's just gonna zigzag down potentially. So I'll let it run. Yeah, it did well. So Decentraland, fairly strong. Okay, what is your plan B, Jay? I don't know. When you say plan B, I think what you're saying is, okay, so my plan B is I am well diversified, right? So I don't have all my basket in XRP. I don't have all my basket in Digibyte, for example. I don't have all. I'm well spread out into 5-6 coins. So if one of my coins fail for whatever reason, which I don't think so, it's fine. I've got 5 other coins, right? So not a big deal. So diversification is always the plan B. We don't recommend you holding 1 or 2 coins, but we don't recommend you holding 10 coins, 20 coins as well. Right? So somewhere in between will be a sweet spot depending on your risk appetite. All right. Yeah. Are we all going to be millionaires? I hope so. By 2021. I can't promise you that, but the plan says that you can hit 1000x from current price. If you come back 5 months later, 4 months later, I can't promise you that. I still can't promise you 1000x. I'm just saying the plan looks like you can get 1000x potential, right? But even by Christmas or New Year, I'm looking at 10, 15x, right, from where I was a few months ago. So 10, 15x in the next few months is pretty good. So some of us are in the 6 figures investors, so we will do really well. And 10x is no joke, we know. Now, how do I know? How do I know I can get 10x? It's quite simple, guys. If you have XRP, if you bought XRP at 30 cents, let's just say, right? We know XRP is going to go up to $3.30. Yeah, how many X is that? Can you do the math? 10X? Yeah, that's 10X right there, guys. When is Moonshot 1 happening? Year end? Okay. There you go. Year end 10X. That's the math. It's really that simple, guys. There's nothing complicated about all this. Yeah. And that's only Moonshot 1, right? And then we got Moonshot 2 and Moonshot 3, and then we got a bunch of rotations coming through. When we talk about rotations, for those who are new, what I mean is for those of us who are chasing moonshots, if you get 4X here, another 3X here, and you just keep rotating, yeah, the number of returns can be crazy. Now, I'm just not going to, you know, point out that you can get 3,000, 5,000X. It's just up to you on how lucky and how good you are in chasing after these moonshots. So, yeah, my two high velocity coins right now would be Kyber and Len. So those are the two big ones, yep, that I have. Other than that, it'll be Digibyte, Neo, and XRP. So pretty simple portfolio. Okay, 1.5 hours now. Let's see if there are any questions. Yeah, let's check in. Yeah, now you guys don't have to ask questions if you don't have any. But I'll just look at some of these coins. Nimic, okay, that would be interesting. Right, Nimic, I haven't seen that for a while now. What's happening over here? Oh, yeah, that's right. It did very well. This is just like Theta. If you recall Theta, right? It broke its all-time high, right? Where do you think it's going? Okay. Can we bring back Theta? Let's bring back Theta. Yeah. So can you see the resemblance between the two? One on the left, which is Theta. One on the right, which is Nimic. Where do you think Nimic is going? Easy money, isn't it? It's like, oh, you mean Jay, it might come back down a little bit, maybe, but it's definitely coming back up. Okay, so limited downside, Nimic would be a great trade if you want to. It's definitely pushing back up. And this would be, again, this would be a moonshot. A good assumption on moonshot 1. So a lot of these coins here can potentially be a good investment. Not a bad idea to put some money in there if you really want to. Yeah, so that's on Nimic. Looks like it can do fairly well. Okay, just moving on. Safe Haven. Oh yes, haven't seen that for a while. Haven't seen Safe Haven for a while now. Yeah, it's very it lacks liquidity. That's what it's showing over here, isn't it? So if it lacks liquidity, some of these coins you wouldn't want to go in. It's just too risky. Yeah, it's not safe at all. Safe Haven is not safe at all. Yeah, even the other day we were looking at Singularity. Yeah, Singularity is not that bad if you look at the price. Some of the price is still a little bit what you call it. It shows that it potentially has some lack of liquidity. But right now, I think it's on a slightly different place. It looks like the players are coming in, so that's much better. Uh, Singularity, it's a fairly well, it's not a fairly new coin. It does have going all the way to Jan 18. But in terms of liquidity wise, it's much better now. But compared to Safe Haven, this is this is no good. you wouldn't want to bet your money. Not a single cent for me. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Yeah. Fetch. Yeah. Okay. Is that it, guys? I think that's it. So I'm not sure if I want to go through any of this. How do you feel about hodling? Okay, so most of the newer people will probably hodl, and that's all good. But you got to make sure that you need to know when you're exiting. Like I say, let me go back into this chart. Where's my chart? Okay. I have a big roadmap up here, right? So here we are. This is the third halving. This is the like a macro map of BTC, right? So the halving was at 12 May this year, which is 3 months ago, almost 3 months ago exactly. So we are 3 months into the halving, which puts us in the second black arrow, right? So this second black arrow would pretty much say, if you look at all the second black arrow in the previous halving, you get really nice run, right? Really nice run up. So I'm expecting things to really push up, right, from here. I've said that the last couple of weeks, and I'm still saying it, right, until you complete the first third, right? Then things becomes more volatile. You can see there's more volatility in the second box here. There's more volatility here. And I'm expecting more volatility later on next year, next first half of the year. And the last box, you see the final moonshot, right? You see the final moonshot coming through, volatility and moonshot. And that's what happens until end of next year, which is somewhere December 21, or maybe January 2022, around there. Yeah, so if you want to position yourself, you want to position yourself right now. That's all I'm saying, because we are early in the game. If you come 5 months later when we start moving into the second big box here, okay, that game is harder to play, right? But if you're positioned now, you're not worried about the future because you got enough buffer to deal with volatility later on. Does it make sense? This is important to understand. Okay. Yeah, thanks, DJ. Appreciate all your kind words. I'm not here to show you fancy charts and all these things, but I'm primarily focused to make money. You know, I'm not into coins really. People, you know, if you look at all the YouTubers, some of them research coins. I'm not against that, but you got to balance out a lot of against the price action, against data. So that's what I provide over here is, you know, enough history for us to make wise decision on how to strategically invest properly. So my primary focus is on investment and your portfolio management. The coins and all this stuff comes next, right? Of course, we need to understand the coins, but that's not my primary focus. Yes. So what is the market structure program called? I want to learn about the structures. Well, it's called market structure, MS. That's what it is called. It's called market structure. And if you're asking, gee, so Twitter, let's go into Twitter. If you are wondering, like, am I making all this up? Now, I come from Forex, so just to let you guys know, in Forex, the concept of three push in Forex has been around for decades. Okay, so there's nothing new around my three moonshots because I come from the Forex and the metals market. And most of you don't come from that market. You guys just go straight into the crypto market, you know, and that's kind of dangerous in my opinion because you dive straight into extremely volatile market and most likely you're just gonna get into trouble. But good that I have, I've been in the Forex market for more than 15 years now. So if you search the concept of tree push, it's been around for many, many years. So that's how I learned, that's where the market structure comes from. It basically comes from the concept of tree push. Now, I just change it to 3 moonshots, from tree push to 3 moonshots, because, in crypto, we've got incredible gains, right? So I just call it moonshots. It's pretty simple. And then I work with Mr. Level Up, from YouTube, and that's where the concept of the mountain comes from him, for example. Yeah, I just map out the 3 moonshots, and that's it. There's nothing magical in what we do here. Yeah, so when I learned about the 3 moonshots, and I'll repeat the story again, this is many years ago, and when I learned from these guys, they are in what you call, I consider them the insider, the people who works behind the exchange. And this guy was talking about why the 3 push works to take your money. And I've always said the market is not there for you to make money, you guys. The market is there to get you in and eat you up, right? Especially the Forex market, right? The Forex market, if you go in, yeah, I would say 95% of us would lose money, right? If you don't know how to play the game, it's a very complex game. It's like playing advanced chess, if you ask me. You will lose. It's like playing chess against one of the top guys in the world. You're gonna lose. You just know that. And one of the primary ways the market takes your money is by doing 3 push, right? And most of you who has survived the last cycle, you guys got in on the 3rd push, right? Because what happens in the 1st push, like the guy who explained to me, he said, yeah, Jay, it's quite simple. The 1st push, most of the retail players, they will start hearing about news after the 1st push. Imagine, so for example, right now, Bitcoin is doing its 1st push, right, into its moonshot. It's doing slingshot, and it eventually goes to moonshot. When it does moonshot, you know what happens in CNBC? It's like, holy cow, let's bring BTC up, right? Let's bring BTC up. Now CNBC will not cover XRP too much and all of this. I know they do cover, but they'll talk about Bitcoin more. When Bitcoin starts coming up here, right, into 20,000, you know what? Then people will say, oh, there you go, right? CNBC will start to do all the news, right? And then the retail players, well, not the retail, the new players will say, oh, look, right, Bitcoin is going up, right? And then you tell your neighbors that, hey, Bitcoin is going up and you should get some. And then your neighbor don't believe you, right? They don't believe CNBC. They say, okay, I can see Bitcoin is going up. And then Bitcoin does moonshot too, right? Or XRP does moonshot too, whatever, it does moonshot too. And then your neighbor goes, now this is for real, right? It's going up and I don't want to lose out. And then they might buy, they might buy into moonshot too. What happens when you buy into moonshot too? It corrects for 6 months, right? Corrects for 6 months. Now, you know what happens to investors sitting 6 months where the money is going down slowly and slowly? They'll say it's a scam. This is a scam, right? And then they say, okay, fine, I'll get my money out. And just to discover the 3rd moonshot goes up. And then they'll say, oh, now it's really the time. And then they buy back in, and guess what? They'll face the 2 years of a bear market. And then they say, crypto is a scam. Crypto is not a scam. It's just that the three push is playing to get your money. It's as simple as that. The market is not there to be your friend. I've always said that. I've always learned from the insiders. And right, I've spoken about this before. The market is there to take your money. And one of the things that, you know, my insider said, you know why, you know, all these bars, all these tools on the side, pitchfork, right, gun, all that is amazing, fib. You know why is it there? It is there to get you into the market. Okay, the moment they get you into the market, they can take your money. You see, if you're not in the market, they can't take your money. They need you to be in the market. Now, how do they get you into the market? Because you're not that smart, right? You need tools to help you decide. So they give you all these amazing tools like trend lines, you know, fibs, and you can do harmonic patterns like this, amazing harmonic patterns. Look at all this. You can use all of this so that they can get you into the market. Do you guys understand this? This is one of the things, big ideas that I've learned, right, from the insider. And once you get in, you know, what they teach you, what's the first thing they teach you, right? You got to put your stop loss, especially in the world of Forex. Yeah, you got to put your stop loss. The moment you put your stop loss, they will hunt you down, right? You guys will heard about stop loss hunt. It's notorious in Forex. I'll tell you that. It's notorious. Yeah. Remember the market, the retail exchange here is there to bring liquidity into the game. Yeah. And you are part of the liquidity. Okay. So long as you do not know how, if you don't know how to play, if you're not well informed of how to play this entire game, most likely you're screwed. It's as simple as that. So that's why we are here to provide you some guidance on how you need to play this correctly. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little bit more education. We provide a lot of education in our program. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care. You know, I'm here to teach you guys how to fish as well. And it's important that you guys learn how to fish. And at the end of the day, you know, I want you guys to be able to walk off and say, yeah, you know, I understand why we do. You know, I don't want to be one of those guys who just tell you a signal and then I walk away and you're like, well, I don't know why Jay's telling me all this. But if you understand the rationale behind, right? So we have a lot of education here. For example, all these moonshot methods, resistant method, all the maps, all these methods here is there to educate you, right? I don't hold back any information at all. So let's look at Matic, because some of you decide to look at Matic. Matic looks relatively strong. Again, it's not exciting for me. Yeah, it probably will head up because altcoin season is coming in. It doesn't quite fit into our model. Again, you know, what do you mean it doesn't fit into our model? This is what I mean. Typically, the fractal looks like on the left-hand side, right? Singularity looks, this is how I would expect things to play out. Well, Matic didn't quite do it this way. Why? Because one is, doesn't have enough data, right? Two, it just looks different. So it's hard to forecast, but it looks like it's supported really well. So yeah, it'll probably go up most likely, but again, it's not one that I'll hold. I'll recommend to the group. Yeah. So that's on Matic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think we've gone almost 2 hours now. And I hope you guys would appreciate, you know, what we bring to the table. And pretty much a lot of education and guidance. Yeah, so typically I would work with you directly on your portfolio just because everyone has a different level of or different appetite for risk and growth volatility. So I would typically work with you guys one-to-one and to make sure that you are well positioned. So that's what I do. Normally I don't do this. You know, this is not my full-time job, but my But because of the virus and COVID, well, maybe thanks to the virus and COVID, I'm doing this full time now. This would be a blessing in disguise, really. I was in Malaysia with HSBC Bank, doing a project in March. So that's the story behind this. I'm normally a full-time consultant, business consultant, around Sydney, and my latest project was in Malaysia, HSBC, and that got stopped because of the COVID. Everyone has to go back home and work, and stop all the project, and just don't meet face to face. So yeah, because of that, I thought, well, yeah, I was watching movies, Netflix, and you can't go out. So what can you do, right? What can you do? So I was forced to then say, hey, I'll look at some charts. And that's how I started looking in detail on the crypto charts. And then I say, gee, it looks really, really similar, right, to my metals chart. And I said, then I was looking at Chris, right? So you guys would know XRP. Yeah, Chris started to do his thing, and I started to do mine. So we basically look at patterns. So if those of you, you would know, if you're holding XRP, you would know Chris. If you watch some of his videos, the older videos, I would be in there sometimes just to chat with him. He's a great guy. So both of us, I think we're the only ones looking at patterns and fractals. So Chris and I will bounce off ideas, and I will look at his ideas. Now the rest of the guys will be using fibs, whatever, moving averages, all those traditional. But we were the one that's looking at fractals because we knew, right, fractals were repeating. And then yeah, he's got his mountaintop, and I say, yeah, that's a good term. And then he uses moonshot, and I say, yeah, that's a good term. Yeah. And now one thing that Chris doesn't have is the tree push that I had that came from Forex, right? And then for me, it was very clear that crypto has the three push, three moonshots. And I said, gee, why don't I map the entire thing out? Because, the structure is there just to map it out. And that's what I did. I'm just like, the first guy who discovered US, United States. And then you just draw a map, right? And just show people where they can go. And that's what I did. And from there, I just got busy, and I started the program 3 months ago. And it got very popular. To my surprise, I wasn't, my plan wasn't to do this full time, just to let you guys know, because I had nothing to do. I was waiting for my project to come back online. I'm looking for some job here in Sydney. And there isn't a lot going, and that's fine. So I just kept doing this just because I've got nothing to do. And also because I'm heavily invested in crypto anyway, so I might as well, stay committed to understanding more of this. So because of that, I think it was a blessing that, the COVID was in fact an opportunity. Because before, if I were to still continue on with my, consulting work, I wouldn't have spent time to look too closely and develop the 1000x game plan. I know I would still make a lot of money, but the fact that I had the time to look at it and to really strategize how I'm going to play this, it became very apparent to me that, holy cow, you can have a lot of money here. So I guess it's good news that my project did not go on. And now I'm able to share with you guys what I found, that potentially the return is huge. And we know that there's it's just right now on paper and plan, But so far, the last 3-4 months, I'm seeing this. There's no surprise right now, right? The coins that we pick is still doing well. It's the pattern is turning out as what I'd expect. Not necessarily from a timing point of view. I still acknowledge the fact that the part of the weakness in the model is timing, right? I can't tell you next week this is what it's going to do. I can't do that. If I do that, if I know timing, man, I'm not just a millionaire. A lot of us will become billionaires if you can master timing. But I guess that's how the market works. You can't get everything because you don't know about timing. It's hard for you to know which coin is going to move first, right? And that's why you need to spread out a little bit, to about 5, 6, 7 coins, yeah, so that you can catch those move. Yeah, but if you spread too thin, that's not good as well. So you just got to pick your poison, which coin are you going with, and everyone has their preferences. So that's in general the philosophy and, the background on how we get to where we are today. So, um, so I hope you guys appreciate some of this content. I enjoy doing this because I've always been involved in business consulting for more than 15 years now. So for me to walk into any business, right, to then find where their weakest link is, where their opportunities are, and how they can strategize. That's what I do. That's my bread and butter. I can walk into any business, right? I can discuss and work with you to improve the situation. So I look at crypto just like another business. Yeah. So just another business where we have to manage risks. We got to know where the weakest link is. We got to know, how things are going to work out, in terms of the entire life cycle. And Edward is saying, yeah, do the group work together? Yeah. The group do work together. Part of the reason why I want to form this group um, is also to tap into your expertise. And this is where it becomes really powerful, right? We have over 140 investors now, some big or small, but that's beside the point. The point is some of you have really strong knowledge about particular coin, right? And no man is an island. So, you can call me smart, but no one is smarter than a group, really, no one. So for me, there's incredible benefits to tap into the expertise of the group. And so far, I can tell you, I have benefited so much talking to some of my investors, right? For example, right, the current investors know. Neo, for example, Neo did not come from me. Neo came from one of the investors, right? And we spoke about it, and eventually I can see how Neo fit into the game plan. Len AAVE did not come from me, right? That came from, again, another investors. Earlier in the stage, Digibyte, for example, it did not come from me, right? I remember meeting an investor, for example. I think he was holding like $50,000, $60,000 of Digibyte. I said, that's a lot of Digibyte in your portfolio, right? And then we spoke about it, and I completely understand. So with me working with all of these members, investors, they have tremendous amount of deep insights that I don't have, and because of that, our game plan is just ridiculous. It's so good. It's so good. The problem is you just don't know which coin you need to select. That's how it is, right? We've got a list of coins, high velocity coin. You just got to name your pick, right? And there's so many options. It's like playing chess, right? There are so many good options for you to do your opening. Yeah, you just got to pick, all your openings, and you're just going to do really well. So that for me is the main reason why I am forming the group. That is for me, right? Because some of our members say, Jay, you're charging what, $79? That's cheap. You could have charged twice as much. And I say that's true. And I started with 59, and then I said, yeah, I'll put up to 79. And then I might push it higher, right? But that's just a small amount compared to how much gain we can have, right? Because some of my smaller investors, I just tell them, right? Okay, you don't have the money. Okay, even if you put in $500, right? If it's let's say it doesn't get to um, 1,000x, okay? You didn't do well. You get 500 maybe, right? So 500. What's that? 250K from $500. Hey, that's what it is. So I have some really small investors. Well, not $500. They have like, $1,000 or so. So $1,000 get you into half a meal, potentially a meal, right? So do not underestimate the $1,000 that you're putting in, because the potential is there. And the reason is because we can see the market structure ahead of time. Yeah, so I hope it makes sense. So we are coming to an end now, 2 hours. So I always enjoy all this discussion. I've always wanted to, speak to some of you out there, and I hope you would bring in, some perspective. I love people who bring in perspectives. Helps me, for example, singularity, right? Yeah, it was Alex that reminded me again on singularity, AGI. And now that it's gone up, I say, okay, we should put this in our radar. We don't have to trade it now, but we can have a look later. Okay, guys, let's do a final wrap up. And if there's any more questions before we go, if you guys want to speak up, that's all fine as well. Yeah, let's see if there's any more final questions. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more this AMA in the future. But just to let you know, guys, we communicate with the investors in a group every week. For me, that is important because we are not doing day trading. I'm not giving you signals and you go away and do whatever you want. No, we are trying to ride the entire bull market. Yeah, are we technically in a bull market? I would say so. Yeah, so Dennis asked, that's a great question. How do we know we are in the bull market now, guys? Let's see if anyone, let's use the group, okay, to see. What are the arguments for bull market? Let's start with that. What would qualify? Coins are going up, Jeremy is saying. Okay.
Higher highs and higher lows. I don't.
Higher high and higher lows. Okay, so that's one point. Okay, that's one. Okay. Yeah, DeFi insane gains. Yeah, that's fine. It's still higher, going up higher. What is the other one that you're seeing? Devaluation of fiats. Okay, that's a good point. But that has been going on for years, guys. The devaluation of fiats has been going on for years. Total market cap. The other thing I want you guys to remember is this. Yeah, it's the cycle. It's the halving as well, correct? The halving what signifies the beginning of the bull. Now, the first black arrow, it tends to be boring. So you guys just miss the boring part of the first black arrow. Right now in the second arrow. So yeah, technically we are heading up. So point number one is the halving kicks off the bull cycle. Point number two, we are seeing a lot of coins now pushing up. Now, from a market structure point of view, we are seeing that a lot of coins are either on Moonpad 1 or they are already hitting the Moonshot 1. So as such, I would be safe. You'll be smart to say, yeah, this is it, guys. The whole thing is starting, so we need to be in position. When my neighbor asking me about crypto, don't tell your neighbors if it's too hard. So then he's asking. So here's the thing, right? I don't like to speak to my friends too much about crypto unless they have the interest. I don't want to convince. I don't want to spend all the hard work to tell someone, hey, you can buy. You should buy XRP. The next question is they will ask, what is XRP? Well, how it's too speculative. It's too hard, guys. It's too hard. So if it's too hard, don't do it. Does it make sense? Unless they have the interest. So you guys would probably heard Crypto Mentor 99 just had a bad experience trying to convince one of his friends to buy into crypto. So if it's too hard, don't worry about it. Right? Let the news get to them, and then they might call you back and say, "Hey, Dennis, how do I set up an account again?" Okay, let them come to you. Yeah. So, if your wife hates crypto, that's a tough one, man. Yeah. So in our group, we try to encourage your partner to be part of the group because it is important that we have partners that have different opinions. You might want to just do it on your own on the side and don't speak much about it. Mario coins, that's right. Well, to me is, let's see, right? Hopefully by next year, when you show the $1 million to her, let's see if she says it's Mario coin. Yeah, you might say, all these Mario coin turns into $1 million, and you might get 10% of it because it's just Mario coin anyway, isn't it? Yeah, it's just fantasy coins, right? That's right. Yeah. So money is just a form of a bunch of it's just trusted by people. That's what it is. That's what money is, right? Um, it's not backed up by anything, by anyone. Okay, do we know the US dollar is what is US dollar backed up with right now? Anyone?
Nothing. Good faith.
Okay, that's almost right. I think there's something else. Military, yeah. Yeah, MS says military. Promissory note. Okay.
The
If
Federal
you want to
Reserve.
argue, if you want to argue US dollars, it's pretty much backed up by oil. That's the best. Okay. That's the closest we can get. It's petrodollar, absolutely. So that is why um, when I'm not sure if you guys remember when oil went down to negative a few months ago, it just went haywire. The whole economic system just went crazy. And that shouldn't happen. Uh, but anyway, oil went back up. So currently, the use case for fiat is oil, pretty much, right? And the Fed use it as a weapon, absolutely. Adam says, yeah, Fed is the private co, absolutely. Yeah, but the US dollar is also a weapon to, well, I better, yeah, is it, okay. I'm gonna start recording. Okay.